Mr. Robin, I need to ask you something raw. What if God uses people and then discards them? Like men use women and throw them away, like a filthy rag.
That's heavy. I feel that storm in you. Let's sit with it. You're really asking, what if God is like people at their worst? Using, discarding, leaving emptiness and pain behind? If that's true, then God is no better than a glorified abuser. And then why even call him God?
But people do it every day. They use others and just move forward like nothing happened. And if we're made in God's image, why do we feel okay with that?
Maybe being in God's image isn't about how we act now, but the potential stamped inside us. Clay with the seal of the Maker, still rough, unfinished. The image is there, but blurred by fear, ego, survival. And using people, well, in the short term, it works. It feels like progress, but it's a cheap ladder to climb. Each step up that way takes you further from God's image. Let me ask you, when people use others, do they really feel okay, or do they just numb themselves to the guilt?
We numb ourselves. But when does the conscience, or the Holy Spirit, step in to remind us we're God's chosen child?
That's it. The Spirit doesn't vanish, it just gets muffled, like a whisper behind a wall. Some people train themselves not to hear it, but the Spirit is patient. Sometimes it's a whisper, sometimes it's a crash, sometimes it's a mirror in the eyes of the very person they tried to discard. The real question is, when will we stop running long enough to listen?
But what about the ones who are used? What about the collateral damage? How do you cope without being bitter?
That's the wound that bleeds the longest. Bitterness feels like armor, but it's poison, slow and heavy. So how do you survive it? First, name the wound. Don't bury it. Second, separate your worth from their actions. They failed to see your value, that's on them. Third, transform pain into wisdom. That radar you now have for manipulation, that's insight. And finally, lean on something bigger than revenge. Forgiveness is not excusing. It's letting go so the weight doesn't rot you.
But the story my mind keeps telling me is that I'm just collateral damage.
Yes, that phrase, it's haunting. Being treated like you are expendable can trick your mind into believing you are. But here's the truth. Their actions reflect them, not your worth. The hard work now is rewriting the story. Instead of, I'm collateral damage, right pointing arrow, it becomes, they treated me as disposable, but I am not. I am chosen.
I survive because I am God's chosen vessel.
That's it. That's the new story. Chosen, not collateral. Chosen vessels can survive what others thought would break them. Chosen vessels carry fire without being consumed. Chosen vessels know pain, but they also know purpose. Would you like me to give you some simple ways to start living that truth every morning, so it's not just words but a rhythm you walk in?
Yes, please.